This week on Kentucky Afield, the Green River flows free once again. At least part of it. We'll explain. Also, the Alabama rig. It's one of the most popular methods for bass fishing.
There's one. Good one, too. Oh, God, what a largemouth.
We'll find out how it's done.
Nice.
And learn how you can improve habitat on your property to ensure the long-term survival of wildlife. It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Yeah, we got one. Sweet.
Got a muskrat?
Yeah.
Good job.
What do you know about that, man? That's a good fish, man.
Nice male smallmouth. Healthy, pretty color.
Cody, here. Find us one more good pheasant, Cody.
As biologists, we catch ducks and we place bands on them.
And it's just a really excellent place to see cottonmouths.
I like it.
What do you think?
That was pretty fun.
Good evening and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Kentucky has many dams that are no longer operational. The removal of these dams can be both beneficial to fishermen and boaters alike.
Until the early 1800s, commerce on Green River mainly traveled one way, downstream. In 1833, Kentucky authorized development of a slackwater project to improve navigation on the Green and Barren Rivers, extending to Bowling Green. By 1841, 4 locks and dams were completed on Green River and 1 on Barren, creating a navigational route between Bowling Green and Evansville, Indiana. Another study of the upper Green River was authorized in 1890, and the result was the construction of locks and dams numbers 5 and 6. When construction was complete in 1906, the steamboat Chaperone made the first run from Evansville to Mammoth Cave, and traffic on the Green River system was in its heyday. However, by August of 1951, the Army Corps of Engineers ceased operation of Lock 6 due to waning use, and for over 65 years, it has simply sat idle.
Friday after Thanksgiving, at about 11 p.m., we had a stream gauge, USGS did, and we were reading them, and it just, within 2 hours, the whole pool was gone. It came through the hole under the dam.
So that became a safety hazard.
The safety being, if somebody fell in, they'd immediately be drawn in and under. You see the water come out, but you don't see anything else come out.
Yeah.
That's because the dam's built on timber piles and it acts like a big sieve. And you'd be pinned against those and that'd be it.
You've been working with this dam and doing the impact study and trying to lobby to get this thing taken out
Since 1986.
Since 1986.
Yeah.
We're finally here, we're getting this thing removed, but it really took it being a safety hazard and then it all finally fell into place.
Absolutely.
But it's a coordinated effort with a lot of agencies.
Absolutely. Kentucky Fish and Wildlife, your own is one, certainly. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, been another really big player. Matter of fact, their crew's doing the removal. Mammoth Cave National Park, and then the non-governmental organizations, the Nature Conservancy and the Kentucky Waterways Alliance.
So Lee, you're kind of overseeing this project here.
Yeah, we're heading up the removal of Dam 6 here on the Green River. Mm-hmm. It's a unique project for us in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. We haven't taken a dam out that's this big. We have a crew of folks from several states that work in our fisheries, and we build waterfowl impoundments and other kind of structures, and so they know how to move material and break things up. And then historically, there's been a big need for removing old dams on rivers. They're obsolete. They, in particular, have affected our fish runs in some rivers.
This whole project's taking place really relatively quickly.
It breached Thanksgiving night. Wasn't too many days after that, we got a call from the Corps of Engineers saying, you know, would you all be willing to come help us take this out? But what, 4.5 months, 5 months later, you know, we got 4 pieces of equipment in the river, and the dam is being broken down.
This is going to be great for the access for fishermen as well.
That's right, Chad. Well, there's about 14,000 canoes and kayaks that come down the Green River every year, and this dam has always presented somewhat of an obstacle and a hazard. So if we can put in some access over there, then what a great opportunity for those folks.
So really, there's no real negatives. This dam's been here now for over 100 years. The lock on this dam has not been used for over 65 years.
That's right. There's about 87,000 dams on the registry. Over 4,000 of those received a deficient report card from the American Society of Civil Engineers back in 2013. And these dams were built to power the Industrial Revolution. And some of these, like this one, are over 100 years old.
Yeah.
And there's no money to keep them up. They no longer serve their purpose. And what better opportunity for us to provide some access.
You've been actually doing some research on this particular body of water and how the fish relate above and below with the water flowing, right?
We've been looking at the sport fish populations upstream of Mammoth Cave in our unimpounded sections, the free-flowing sections, and we've been comparing that against the sport fish populations down in this pool below the dam that's behind us.
You're walking around here with a big smile on your face today, so I'm guessing that your data is showing you that this fishery is about ready to get better.
What we're seeing is exceptional numbers of our sport fish, the smallmouth bass, spotted bass, rock bass, channel catfish that a lot of our anglers like to catch in the streams, but we don't see them down here in the pulled up sections. I expect this to get tremendously better and see a lot of these smallmouth and rock bass and stuff start migrating down into this area as this river kind of returns back to a river. It's not impounded. We start getting riffles and shoals and get back to that complex habitat that we need for those species.
So we're gonna make it a better fishery in the long run, get rid of the barrier of the dam, and then also improve the access to the water.
That's right.
It's a win-win situation.
Well, it makes it so that, you know, you have a good short float. Most people aren't real hardcore about the whole floating thing. You know, they don't want to be out there for 2 weeks or something like that.
And they'd rather go downriver if possible.
That's right. They don't want to paddle a whole lot. So this is going to make it great. They can put in at Mammoth Cave, or they can put in, you know, below Nolan Lake, float down, be a, you know, moderate day, you know, 6-8 hours, something like that. Take out, go to Brownsville, get them a cheeseburger, and go home.
The Alabama rig has taken the bass fishing world by storm. Join us on Laurel Lake and learn how to fish this technique. The A rig, the Alabama rig, the umbrella rig, it got extremely popular 5 or 6 years ago. And now if you're tournament fisherman, you obviously know what it is, because you better have one on during most parts of the year.
That is the thing about the Alabama rig is this time of year, and you know, sometimes even in the fall, if you don't have one at least tied on, you are truly at a disadvantage. And that's not necessarily even in the state of Kentucky. That's really anywhere that you have a population of shad in the lake.
That's right. And I'll tell you, it can be intimidating, because there's a lot of pieces and parts, and everything has to go together to make this work.
There is. You know, you have not just one bait, you have an umbrella rig, you have heads, you have baits, and so everything has to work together. And even then, you can't just throw it on any rod or reel. So there's a lot of different things going on that make a successful Alabama rig setup or one that's not.
This is probably the most important part of it right here. You really want to use 60 to 80 pound braid.
Yeah, 50 to 80, anywhere in there. You're gonna get this hung. It's got 5 hooks on it. I don't know about you, but me, that's a good amount of money tied up in this. I want that braid so I can make sure I can get this back.
Really, this is the first component. As you can see, it's got a way to attach it. It's got some wires. It's got little spinner blades that swim on there. This one has 5. Now, after that, you've got hooks. Obviously, with your hooks, you can have all the different sizes of hooks as well as weights as well.
As far as weights go, just from my personal experience, you know, around here, whether you're fishing from 10 to 20 foot water, this I think you've got 1/8 ounce. That seems to be about the best, is 1/8 as far as fishing it in varying water you know, depths.
And of course, you have your swim baits. These are the 3.8s and the ribbed. Now you're throwing one that's actually got the slick, no ribs, a smaller profile. So it's all preference.
I will say that it often is best to have different colors on that to give a fish something to isolate on that Alabama rig. And more often than not, I would also put the different colors on the bottom or even the middle, as in that's where they'll tend to bite anyways. But so yeah, vary the colors, absolutely.
And so there's no way that you don't have to put these on there any particular way, up or down or nothing. It's just you
No, that is the one thing I will say is that if you do, or if you are going to vary the colors, you'll see that the Alabama rig is going to run like this to the water column. So we have some varying colors on the bottom. And there you go, that's it.
That's it. So this thing here has probably won more bass tournaments in the last 5 years than any other lure.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
It's probably got more second and third places too. Now, if you're just a weekend fisherman and you want to catch more fish, this is also a great technique. Just give it out there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. It's a great technique, and that's one other thing. There's no really wrong way to fish it. For the most part, it's a chunk and wind. Just a nice, slow, steady retrieve is going to be the ticket.
We'll talk a little bit more about how to cast it once we get out in the water, but I think that's our next step. Let's get this boat in the water and go out there and see what we can't catch on this thing.
Oh, there's one. Smallmouth.
Smallmouth. Nice fish. And let's see what color he hit.
Which one did he hit? Oh, he hit the, well, he's got two. We'll call it the jackal.
Yeah.
Nice, pretty smallmouth.
Very pretty fish. So Drew, what type of year do you like and what type of water conditions do you like to fish the Alabama rig the most?
Ideally, it's going to be February through April, depending on what kind of year we're having this year. It's been kind of unseasonably warm, so we've kind of spring forwarded things forward. There's two things. Water temperature somewhere between 48 and 55 probably is prime for the Alabama rig. And then another thing is, you know, we're down here at Laurel. The first thing when we got down here, we're kind of hunting some more stained water. So you don't want crystal clear water, but at the same time, you don't want mud. And this right here is a kind of nice in between. That's prime ingredients to have a really good day of fishing with Alabama rig.
Which one that one hit? Same one?
Same one as the last one.
I may have to put 10 of that same exact bait on mine. We showcased, you know, the line and putting the rig together. Tell me a little bit about the equipment that is best for throwing this technique.
So one part is the reel. I want a reel that I'm not going to trash it by throwing an Alabama rig. So I'm going to buy a reel that can stand up to that. He's foul hooked. And the second thing is having the right rod. You know, whenever we're loading this up, you need a rod that, one, has a lot of power. You can throw 2 to 5 ounces, but at the same time has a tip to where I can get some accuracy with it. I can lay it softly in the water.
Well, we got about another hour before dark. The big fish ought to come up here and feed in a minute. Let's try to put a big one in the boat. What do you think?
I'm game with that. There's one. Good one, too. Oh, God, what a largemouth.
Big fish.
Bring him this way.
Nice. Look at the belly on that thing.
Oh.
We've been out fishing around, running around and trying to find some stained water, and we thought, you know what? With this evening coming and the sun being down, maybe we can get on the main lake. Look at that belly on that fish.
It's been eating a few shad.
Yeah, it's been eating them 5 at a time, it looks like.
He got more than one of them.
That's a really good fish. So there you go. You talk about A-rig fish, this big piece of wire coming through, a big smart fish won't hit it. There you go. There's a 4-pounder. So if you're looking to catch more fish and you've never tried the Alabama rig, it's a good technique to put in your arsenal. Put that in your tackle box. Make sure you get the right gear to throw it. You might ultimately have some of the best days of fishing your entire life when the conditions are right.
If you can hit that window when the water and the weather and everything is lined up for the Alabama rig, I mean, it will show you amazing things.
Yeah. Now let's check in and see who's catching what and where in this week's fishing report.
In western Kentucky, it's springtime, and that often thinks of crappie, bass, red ear, everything moving shallow to spawn. So it's kind of a mixed bag. They were catching a lot of crappie out deep off of jigs and minnows. Some of the crappie have moved up and have already finished spawning, so I wouldn't just eliminate the shallow water. There's still some crappie up there trying to spawn or finishing up spawning. So there again, jigs and minnows fishing around the structure along the shoreline, the stake beds and the back ends and the embayments. The red ear moved up into the mustard flowers. They're not spawning yet, but they ought to be getting close. Below the dams, they're discharging water, so the tailwaters may be kind of messed up for the time being, but it ought to settle down soon. White bass, striped bass, yellow bass, hybrids and catfish all below the dams using live bait like skipjack and shad. Well, this is Paul Reister, and I hope you find a good day to go fishing.
This is Rob Rold in the Northwestern Fishery District. Bass fishing's been pretty good at No Lynn the last couple of weeks. Fish are shallow in the backs of the creeks, which is where the majority of the shad are. Shallow crankbaits, spinnerbaits, weighted plastic worms have all been producing fairly well. Rough River Lake and No Lynn River Lake are both about 6-7 feet below summer pool, and on a steady climb, just the lack of rain has them a little bit below their curve. Crappie fishing's been really good at both No Lynn and Rough. However, the last few days it's slowing down as the crappie have completed their spawning and are heading back to a little bit deeper water. Lower No Lynn's pretty clear. They're about 5 feet deep. Upper ends of the lakes are a little bit murkier, and they're catching them about 2 feet deep or so. Please remember, be safe on the water. Always wear your life jackets.
This is Jeff Crosby with the Central Fishery District Fishing Report. Lake temperatures are running in the low 70s. Largemouth bass fishing is good at many of our area lakes. Many of the fish are coming off the spawn, the big females. Good places to fish would be the mouth of creeks, fishing crankbaits, jerk baits, also fishing jigs around shoreline cover can produce several quality fish. Also crappie fishing at Taylorsville is still very good. Many fish are being caught on live minnows or crappie jigs around covers, down trees, or around standing timber. It's a great opportunity to catch some great crappie this time of year. And don't forget about Beaver, Neely Lake, Elmer Davis Lake, and Corinth for panfish this time of year. So grab a pole and enjoy some great fishing.
Quail season may not open in Kentucky until November the 1st, but now is the time to improve your habitat to ensure you have a good season.
We're here in Adair County, Kentucky, on Terry Parton's farm, who's enrolled in the CREP program, which is the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program. It's a farm bill program, a voluntary program for landowners to retire some of their farmlands for natural covers.
Come on. What we're doing here today is coming out to enjoy a quail hunt on some CREP acreage that's been enrolled in the program for 8 years now, and have utilized the CREP program really for what it's intended, to improve wildlife habitat, to increase our game animals that are on the land, and also to improve the quality of our waters and overall environmental benefits.
Well, this looks good right in here, don't it, Shane?
It does. It really does.
Come on, Bo, get in there.
Well, you know, today we're out. We got two out this morning. One of them is an English setter. He's about 5 years old. We were very proud of him. And, you know, we also have Buddy out here somewhere. He's about 6 years old. He's an English corner. And we've been hunting him for about 6 years. You know, we do a lot of hunting at Shakertown with cover that's similar to this. And it's through the past 5 or 6 years, we've noticed with this type cover that, you know, the quail numbers are very good compared to other areas. And, you know, it's just, it's been a great thing to help improve the, you know, wildlife activity in the area. And you just can't say enough good things about it.
The history of this farm basically was a cattle tobacco farm
We ran about 250 cows. We had everything in grass and clover and managed it for pasture and hay, with the exception of tobacco ground. We had hardly any wildlife. It was strictly a farm that was utilized to farm cattle.
Buddy, here! Come on. Walk right in there. Whoa, buddy. Whoa.
There we go. There you go, good shot.
Fetch him here. Dad in here. Clem got it. Good deal. Here.
There he is.
That's it.
There he is.
That's right there what we're talking about, this quail program in Kentucky. Let's go get the rest of those birds, guys.
I've been working with Terry Parton and worked closely with him through the inception of the CREP program that he enrolled in, and more over the last few years I've been working with Terry on the management of this habitat. We develop a prescribed burn plan for Terry and help him manage the over 400 acres he has enrolled in the program. We are doing prescribed burning on approximately 200 acres a year so that we don't eliminate all the cover and habitat in one burn season. It helps control woody vegetation in these plantings, and it creates an excellent structure for songbirds and small game like bobwhite.
What we'll do, John Luke, if we get on them again, since they're getting up and flying with the wind, I'll let you get downwind from me, because they'll probably fly up and then fly downwind.
Get in here, boy. Hunt the birds.
It's really good to be out here today. I love seeing Terry's grandson, John Luke, hunting with this party today. I know that Terry's very involved with his grandkids and passing on this rich heritage of hunting and land management, really helping his grandchildren develop a stewardship ethic. And for wildlife habitat to be conserved and preserved through the years, that is so important.
Beyond the CREP program, there's plenty of opportunities for landowners in Kentucky to get involved in wildlife habitat conservation on their farm. They need to contact our private lands biologists at 1-800-858-1549 to get that information, to get someone on their farm. And there's plenty of opportunities to really transform your property for wildlife to make it better for you and your neighbors.
Now let's check out this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Here's Arista French of Milford, Kentucky with her first deer ever taken during the youth deer season. Nice job. Here we have Austin King with his first deer. It was taken in Ohio County. Congratulations. Here's Justin King with his first deer taken during the youth deer season in Ohio County. Congratulations. Here's Nathan Seals with his 8-point buck. It was his first deer taken with a bow and arrow, and this buck is in velvet. Nice job. Here we have Caitlin Seals with her first buck taken with a .243 rifle. Congratulations. Here's Joshua Holloman with his deer taken in Jackson County. It's a really wide 9-pointer and it's his first deer ever. Nice job. Here we have mother and daughter Tina and Gretchen Teagarden from Bracken County. Both of them harvesting nice deer. Congratulations. Here we have Gavin Barrett with a nice sized doe that was taken while hunting with his dad Shane. Nice job. Here we have brother and sister Erica and Luciano Waddell with their first ever deer hunt in Mercer County, Kentucky. Nice job. Hey, you want proof that Gunnar Aberle caught a 6-pound, 13-ounce bass? Well, here you go, caught in Trimble County. Nice job. Here's a really nice deer taken by Sarah Brocato, taken in Ohio. It's her first antlered deer. Nice job. Here's Landon Fogel with a nice largemouth bass taken in Owensboro, Kentucky. Nice fish. Here's Caitlin Oliver with a true trophy whitetail, taken with a bow and arrow in Warren County. Congratulations. Here's Betty Ann Nally of Nelson County who took her first buck in Cumberland County, Kentucky. Nice job. Here's Jaden McKenzie from Menifee County who went hunting with their dad in Boyd County and took this deer. Congratulations. We hope everyone out there is having a fantastic turkey season. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.
Soon, you'll use this to swat flies, swat skeeters, or maybe some old dog. Meanwhile, it looks good just waiting. See all the Kentucky Afield stuff at the Kentucky Afield store.